Okay, we're going to talk about pillar number two, prospect to contract. Now, this is all about marketing and all about getting off market deals. And we do that through our pinwheel approach to marketing, which we'll talk about in a moment. But I just want to reiterate how important it is to establish pillar number one, which is foundation. We just talked about foundation, but oftentimes people go right into marketing and they have no foundation. So I'm going to repeat this again and again. Without the foundation, there is no prospect to contract or marketing. Foundation must be completed. The great news is once you complete pillar number one, which is the foundation, you will have momentum. And that momentum is going to quickly move you into pillar number two, which is prospect to contract. Now, in pillar number two, it's all about marketing, but it also is about how to run your numbers and obviously how to speak to the leads that we get. So let's dive into that right now. Okay. So the six key elements that you need, and again, I'm going to break this down very high level, but just to make sure that you understand what you need here in this pillar. So the lead intake process. Note, I said lead intake process. So that means that we have a way that's repeatable of dealing with our leads. That's generally going to be in a CRM system. We have to have a lead intake process. We are asking the same questions and taking people down a funnel. And that is something that needs to be established. Now, once you have the lead intake process, then you can market for deals because once you start marketing and the leads start coming in, you need a systematic way to communicate with your leads and to let the leads flow through our process. Now, marketing for deals, this is money. This is really where the entire business is. This is how we get our off-market deals. Now we have what we consider and call the pinwheel approach to marketing, which you'll hear a lot. We're in the center, the pinwheel is around us. There are free ads, which kind of we put up top, and there are paid ads. And there are many different sources of free and paid. Often our students start with free, but we layer in some of the paid. But the bottom line is the leads will start to flow here because you have your foundation built. You have a process of how the leads are going to go through your funnel. So it is perfectly fine for you to start putting on the marketing here, spending money and spending your time. Now, let's talk about the next stage, which is communication. Oftentimes, new investors have this mixed up. They have the research stage ahead of the communication stage. Now, let me explain why that makes no sense. I often see new investors, they say, I'm doing all the comps for 123 Main Street. I think this is going to be a good deal. It's probably worth this. I might exit this way. And what do I ask them? Well, what's the seller talking about? Why does the seller want to sell? Oh, I don't know. I have an appointment with them tomorrow. Okay, so you have it backwards. You should be communicating, speaking with the seller, making sure that there is a problem that we can hopefully help to solve. And then if there is a problem that we can solve, let's figure out how we can solve that problem. And then we'll do the research, not the other way around. So communicate first, then we research. There are plenty of tools that we use to research. We're using the local MLS. We're going to use Zillow. We're going to use Redfin. There's a ton of tools that you're going to use to do your research, but you must research to figure out what your offer is going to be and if that makes sense. Now, on top of that, what type of area is it in? We've bracketed out the various areas. Is this a flip for us? Is this going to be a buy and hold? Is it some type of a creative deal? So all this is going to be in the research stage here. And obviously, you're going to learn a lot more about the situation in the communication stage. Now we go to the negotiation stage. And that's when we are speaking with the seller, trying to solve their problem by presenting them what we think is the best solution to their problem. And then obviously we're going to negotiate and go back and forth. Of course, we have a system and we have a process for this as well. Finally, we're going to be in the converting stage. Let's hope this is converting into a transaction and into a deal. And then, of course, at that point, we have to figure out what's our disposition strategy. How are we going to handle this? But let's assume for some reason we can't convert it into an actual transaction now. We're going to convert them into our follow-up system. And then we're going to be following up with this particular prospect. So really, in prospect to contract, it's just that. How do we systematically go from someone who is a lead and generating that lead through a process to take them essentially into becoming hopefully a deal? And then how do we just repeat that? So that is really the crux of this. It's all about the marketing and all about the processes once we market. And now then we're going to lead us to our third foundational element. And I'll see you on pillar number 3.